Companies are about people, people are about jobs, companies are about jobs. When analyzing companies, it's worth looking at the jobs that they list. This is the Not Even Wrong podcast. It's August 29, 2020. This is Krim Delco. Since the last update on August 27th, the fund is down 1.6%. The market is up roughly 70 basis points. For the year, the fund is up 216.6%. The market is up 8.15%. So we're outperforming by about 208%. When analyzing companies, it's absolutely worth looking at the job listings. This is part of our work, and I think it's worth noting that often on Wall Street that is very underrated, and we believe that that is a mistake. And this episode hopefully can shed some light on that. Yesterday, on August 28th, Neuralink gave a presentation about its latest advancements. Elon Musk was talking about what they're doing, how they're doing it, and most importantly, what kind of people they're looking for to get the job done. The Neuralink presentation, according to Elon Musk, was all about recruiting, and we believe that this is a very good example of what this company is all about, and in general, what the Elon Musk companies are all about. The Elon Musk companies are about technologically driven disruption with great impact. For that, you need to have people that are able to work in an environment that is disruptive. What does it take for to be disruptive? There's a lot of things, and I don't think there's a scientific definition of what a person should look like in order to work in a company that is driving technologically driven disruption. But there are certain things you can just listen to and see what they're looking for. For example, one thing that Musk and the people at Neuralink kept saying is that we don't really care that much about what your background is in terms of pedigree, universities. It's a lot more important that you've done certain things. And there's two things I think that are key. One is hopefully in your youth, you've been somebody that likes to fix things, break things and fix things. Now that can be, you know, fixing the stereo radio, fixing your iPhone, hacking your iPhone, trying to figure out what's going on in your Tesla, trying to fix a kite. There's several levels of, I was trying to fix stuff. I mean, there's the high level, high tech hacker stuff, but I think what they mean is more the passion to understand how things are built and maybe break them and then rebuild them. So that's one thing which I would say is more of a lifestyle thing. I personally wasn't like that at all. I am not the kind of person that likes to fix things, that breaks and fixes things. I want things to work. I consider myself more of a conceptual person. I like to think about the big picture of things. I like to find solutions to difficult questions. And I'm not so much a detail oriented person when it comes to how things work in the detail, how my Tesla actually works, how the octavalve works in terms of getting heat and cool air into my car is not that much of a concern to me. I'm not saying it's not important. It's just I'm not very good at analyzing that type of information. The other thing that Neuralink was emphasizing is that you've worked with products and shipped products. And I think that is absolutely key in anything that has to do with business. If you want to do business in any kind of way, in a publicly listed $1 billion company or in a startup, or even us at Orange Capital Partners, a small fund that manages other people's money, you have to understand what it means to deliver a product. You have to understand what it means to serve a customer, to make something that somebody else is consuming. Now, of course, in our sense, it's in our way, in our world of hedge funds, it's a very abstract thing. We're not actually physically shipping a product, versus I think what Neuralink was looking for was more, let's say Elon Musk said, if maybe you've worked on a smartwatch, or you've actually worked on small, highly high tech driven, technologically complicated products that then are shipped to customers, because that is what Neuralink is doing. So the key in my view, the key, what they're trying to say is you're somebody that likes tinkering, and you're somebody that has felt the feedback of customers actually using the product that you've built. And this is the essence of Neuralink. And the reason I'm talking about Neuralink is that no matter how you look at it, I think it's an Elon Musk company, and Elon Musk operates like that, and his companies are all like that. So what I'm trying to say is Tesla works very close to the way Neuralink works, and SpaceX works like that, and I'm sure the Boring Company works like that. It's simply the idea that you have to be a person that likes to make your hands dirty. Like go in there, build stuff, break stuff, build stuff, break stuff. It goes back to our concept of the innovation stack that we think is absolutely key for Tesla. That is, that you are a person that works in a company that is continuously trying to improve, iterate, solve small problems, create new problems, solve problems. You need to have, in our view, three ingredients for that. You need to be humble, you cannot have an elitist culture, and you need to have a sense of urgency. And this is the arc to one of the questions that we have for Tesla in the shareholder day, which is, how are you building the human stack? Are you able to hire the kinds of people that are a good fit for that kind of process, where you continuously iterate and improve, and who bring in that culture that we believe is necessary, which is, like I said, the humility, the lack of elitism, and the sense of urgency. Is that working? How is that working? How easy, how hard it is to hire people like that? I want to give another example of a company that we believe doesn't have a good resonance when it comes to hiring, and it reflects our concern with that company, and the company is Twitter. I believe Twitter, the way we look at Twitter, is that it's a company in search of a business model. We actually have been investors in Twitter. We lost money with Twitter. One of our biggest losses in terms of dollars and percent has been with Twitter. So I think we earned our right to talk a little bit about Twitter. And the reason we don't like Twitter is the following. Twitter is a great service for certain people in certain situations. It's the TikTok for grown-ups, intellectuals, if you want. So it's something to share ideas with, get inspired, have fun, and all that. And that's all fine. The problem with Twitter is there's no fundamental business model. And you can see it also in the job listings. A lot of the job listings are vague, not clear. In fact, it comes across to us that the job listings are, in a way, for jobs that people come in to figure out what Twitter actually is supposed to be doing. In other words, Twitter is, like I said, it's a stock in search of a business model. Jack Dorsey is not quite sure what exactly the business of Twitter is. And to some extent, it's his mistake. To some extent, it's the mistake of the people who were in charge in the early days of Twitter, because what Twitter was doing in the early days is chasing revenue, advertising revenue, to get to, in those days it was about 2 billion, and then get a 12 14x valuation and go public at 25 30 billion dollars and cash out and be happy and all that. And what happened is, because they did that the fast way, they really neglected some of the fundamental questions. What is our purpose? What are the products that we're building to get to that purpose, to achieve those goals? And how can we best hire people to continue driving that purpose? All these questions weren't asked. The purpose of Twitter cannot be to sell advertising. The purpose of Twitter cannot be to generate a lot of buzz, fake buzz or real buzz, doesn't matter, just to generate clicks and therefore make more money with advertising. But that's exactly what the company is kind of morphed into, because this is how they make money. And I'm sure it's not a good situation for Jack Dorsey, nor is it a good situation for anybody who's working at Twitter, and therefore also the job listings. It's a very confused company. It's not clear. It's not. It's just not very clear, and it's for lack of better words, it's a little bit of a mumbo jumbo. Facebook is not like that. Facebook's mission, whatever they say, I don't care. But Facebook clearly is in the business of keeping people addicted to keep using Facebook, and they're very good at it. And they're generating advertising, and I'm sure that the top brass at Facebook doesn't have any issues with that, and therefore also the company is working very well. You can have problems with that, you can question that, but that doesn't really matter. As an investor, you know that the alignment of management, of the spiritual and physical alignment of the management, is with the product and the money-making processes within the company. And I think back to Tesla, that's exactly what Tesla is doing. Tesla is looking for people that are good at fixing things, breaking things, fixing things, and that they also bring in some technical skills, and more importantly, the ability to use those technical skills to continuously improve and build products. And this is really what Tesla is all about. In a nutshell, like Elon Musk said, the fundamental problems with Tesla are all, you can bring them down to material science. Or like a lady that I recently spoke with on the phone, a material science PhD from Stanford. I just, her name slipped my mind, but she said that material science is, you're an atom whisperer. So you're whispering to atoms, please move this way, move that way. What if you do this? What if you do that? Material science is a tinkering science, in a sense that we don't have a fundamental theory of how atoms, electrons, atoms, how they actually interact with each other, particularly if we change them, if we you know, change the surface, which is really what material science is. It's surface science. If you take a certain element or metal, and then how does the surface interact with its environment? That is material science in a nutshell. And we are still in the tinkering phase because we lack a fundamental theory of quantum physics and quantum chemistry, which would allow us to do a first principle analysis of how things actually evolve. I think we need a lot more also quantum computing to be able to simulate and learn how quantum systems, which basically is nature, how they actually interact with each other and how they interact if we change certain parameters. We are not able to do that from a first principles approach, so therefore we are in this realm now of, I call it tinkering, and I don't mean it in a bad way, but it's the best we can do. It's try and error, try to solve problems, fix problems, create new problems, try to solve problems, fix problems. It's the innovation stack that we spoke about this prior on other podcasts. So to summarize, to look at a company, it is very, very interesting to look at the job listings. The job listings tell you a lot about what a company is and where a company is going, or in a nutshell, what are you really investing in? With Tesla, Neuralink, SpaceX, you're investing in a continuously iterating bunch of people who are bringing technical skills to the plate, but whose main purpose is to use their technical skills to slowly but surely create an innovation stack with the goal to solve certain very big picture problems. For example, the rapid transition to sustainable energy in the case of Tesla, or to bring autonomy to the transportation sector, also Tesla. In the case of Neuralink, it is to build an interface between human brains and artificial intelligence, according to Elon Musk. And for that, you need the same thing. This is a very big picture problem, but it can be broken down in a list of small problems, which then through tinkering, a small serial iteration, solve a problem, create new problem, solve a problem. You build that innovation stack, which eventually gets you to the goal. Thank you.